Hey everyone, and thanks for watching another episode of The Other 99. Today we take on a Jasmine Boreal themed deck built by viewer Chris Hawkins, aka Rugal Ingtail. Jasmine is a respectable body for her mana cost, but as you may have noticed, has no abilities whatsoever. Therefore, Jasmine will be having your opponents questioning what exactly the deck is all about. Imagine Jasmine Boreal as the princess in a tall tower, surrounded by walls and guards fighting to keep the besieging enemy out of the castle. Following this theme, this deck is designed to play defensively with a combination of defenders, life gain, and fogs, forcing your opponents to run out of gas and allowing you to ultimately prevail. Every castle needs strong walls to protect the people and items inside. Birds of Paradise and Axebane Guardian. These provide a boost in mana to drop multiple spells in a turn. Wall of Tanglecord and Angelic Wall. Big bodies for their mana cost that can take care of problem flyers. Pride Guardian and Wall of Hope. They gain you life when they tango as blockers. Gatecreeper Vine and Wall of Omens. One gets you a land, the other a card, both giving you more bang for your buck. Junk Troller, a boss blocker. This golem lets you recover something or keep a problem card out of your opponent's graveyard. Basilica Guards. Thanks to mana symbols and reminder text not counting towards the color identity of a card, this defender will get to work double duty blocking and draining life. Wall of Nets. Exiles nuisance creatures if it survives combat, making it an early combat deterrent. Tree of Redemption. With the ability to give a life boost if you're well below its printed toughness, it's the good guy Greg of blockers. Your walls are only as good as their construction. Oathsworn Giant and Stalwart Shield Bearers. Bigger defenders and better defenders. Builder's Blessing, Leyline of Vitality, Gaia's Anthem, Mirari's Wake, and Spider Silk Armor. Even more boosting in the form of enchantments, giving your defenders reach, a little bit of enter the battlefield life gain, and a boost of mana. Next are the unsung heroes in the effort to protect the princess. Transcendent Master. Just gets better the later the game gets. Melira Sylvok Outcast. Because infect can negate all of the life gain that you have in this deck. Sarah Avatar. Every deck needs a bomb, and with all of the life gain in this deck, this card truly is one. Dauntless Escort. Get out of wrath free. Aegis Angel. Find the most important permanent on your side of the table and prevent its destruction. Grand Abolisher. This guy keeps opponents from meddling with your turn. Ghosts of the Innocent. Cutting damage in half can be useful, but it is especially handy in this deck since you'll be constantly on the defense. This deck has artifacts and enchantments designed to help your end goal of protection. Wildfield Border Post and Darksteel Ingot. Simple mana rocks. Hymn of Rebirth. Gives your creature a second chance at life, or lets you snag a potential defector to your cause. Harmonize. Pay 4, draw 3. Pretty cut and dry. Privileged Position and Leyline of Sanctity. Giving yourself and your permanents hexproof can be very frustrating for your opponents. Gaia's Blessing and Wheel of Sun and Moon. These cards are super flexible ways to fight pesky mill decks and decks that like to abuse their graveyards. It's hard for your enemy to get to the princess when they can't see where they're going. Ethereal Haze, Fog, Haze Frog, and Holy Day. Pretty obvious ways to keep your opponents from hitting you for damage. Prismatic Strands. Great against monocolored decks, and even better because of flashback. Moment of Silence and Stonehorn Dignitary. Pseudo-fogs that keep your opponents from attacking. Respite and Chant of Vitu-Ghazi. Disregard combat damage and acquire more life. Sometimes the best way to fight an enemy is to make them disappear. Swords to Plowshares and Return to Dust, for when you want it gone, permanently. Crows and Grip, for when you want it gone before they can use it again. Nullmage Shepherd, Acidic Slime, and Terastodon. These three combine to cover everything that isn't a creature, with Nullmage Shepherd being able to be triggered multiple times. Arashi the Sky Asunder and Corrosive Gale. With very few flyers in this deck, it's a one-sided wrath against an Air Force deck. Day of Judgment and Planar Cleansing, for when you want to make things dead. Divine Reckoning. While weaker than Day of Judgment on paper, flashback is always a good thing. Terminus. Because, well, Terminus. Just because you start with 40 life doesn't mean you don't deserve more. Chalice of Life. It helps you gain life, but then switches to Chalice of Death to hurt your opponents. Elixir of Immortality. Because having an opponent abuse your graveyard is the worst. Tablet of the Guilds. A great life gain card for 2-color decks. Perimeter Captain. allows your defenders to pull double duty blocking and gaining life. Wall of Reverence, because bonus life points are good, not to mention doubling your life by targeting Sarah Avatar is awesome. Rock's Faith Mender, can double your life or quadruple it with the previously mentioned combo. Oracle of Nectars, a good place to dump mana at the end of your opponent's turn. Venser's Journal, gives you an infinite hand size as well as a steady source of life gain. The trick with Jasmine is that she endures. She rolls with the punches until your opponent is out of gas. It's then that one of these cards pulls you through. Like any good castle, there is always a unique piece of treasure in the vault. Stormherd, take advantage of all the life you'll be gaining with your own herd of Pegasi. Feed the Pack, feed a spare, highly bolstered wall to make a healthy strike force. Felidar Sovereign and Test of Endurance. Both of these cards are realistic to trigger. It just becomes a matter of weathering the storm. And finally, the deck's lands. Elfheim Palace, Glacial Chasm, Greypelt Refuge, Grove of the Guardian, Kabira Crossroads, Core Haven, Crozen Verge, Maze of Ith, Reliquary Tower, Selesnya Guildgate, Selesnya Sanctuary, Stirring Wildwood, Sunpellow Grove, Temple Garden, and 9 forests and 9 plains. And now for the strengths and weaknesses of the deck. For its strengths. Large life gain potential allows this deck to take big hits between fog effects. It's good against big X spells like Comet Storm and Exsanguinate. Low mana requirement allows for quick setup or quick reestablishment after a Wrath effect. True to its theme, it takes a dedicated assault to bring this deck down. And for its weaknesses. With Test of Endurance and Felidar Sovereign being the deck's Plan A win cons, shutting down life gain is crippling. Token aggro and Weenie Rush builds could easily outrace this deck. Minimal draw power leaves this deck without fuel. This deck struggles in pure 1v1 settings. You should play this deck if you enjoy gaining tons of life, you enjoy walls or turtle strategies, you wish for some aspects of board control decks without playing blue or black, and you would like a support deck for a two-headed giant team. Thanks for watching this episode of The Other 99. Chris Hawkins has presented a theme deck that allows you to really sit back and play on the defensive, giving this deck the opportunity to play cards that wouldn't normally be played in Commander. So, since we've had at least one video for every monocolored deck except blue, our voting for today will only include mono blue decks. And I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually vote up to 3 times. 1 vote for Facebook, 1 for Twitter, and 1 for YouTube. So for next time, vote for either Azami Wizard Control, Arcanis Legendary Creature Control, or Memnarch Artifact Control. Have fun picking your poison. I'm Karsh from Top Go Productions, and as always, thanks for watching.